Okay, now we're going to check the frame spacing for the hub we're going to be using, and also dropout alignment and frame alignment. So the hub that we're using, it's a Sturmey Archer XRF5, the older version, not the new W model. The overlock nut measurement on it was 113 millimeters, and the dropout spacing was 124 millimeters. So what I've done is just put a 10 millimeter nut on the non-drive side to bring it close so we don't have to do any frame spacing. It will alter the chain line a little bit, but we can deal with that later. So it's very close to the right spacing. When we put the nuts on, it will tighten it down. Also, by putting this nut on the non-drive side, it's brought the hub closer to the center, so there'll be less dish on the wheel. Okay, so now we're going to check the dropout alignment. I am using the Stein dropout alignment tools. Improperly aligned dropouts put too much stress on the axle. That's where broken axles come from. Okay, so we can see that horizontally we're well aligned, vertically not so much. So the alignment tool used to flex the frame. Looks like it's this one that has to come up to meet the other one. And this one needs to go down a little bit. We're still good horizontally, and vertical is now good. Dropout alignment is good. Okay, now we're going to check the frame alignment. I'm using the Park alignment gauge, and that's done simply by placing it along the tube. In this case, we're going to have to put it on the lug here at the center of the frame, but just make sure that we do it the same both sides. And then adjusting this end so it just touches the dropout. And then we flip it over to the other side and compare it. And we see that we have to move, we've got about 3 millimeters offset. So it means you got about 1.5 millimeters that we're going to have to shift it over. Okay, now we've got the hub mounted in the frame. We're going to check the frame alignment once again. Transfer that setting to the other side. And we're still about 3 millimeters off. So we're going to do a little bit of frame adjusting here. Okay, I've put an acorn nut on the right side of the hub, because to adjust the frame we're going to do it with the hub in place, and we're going to be laying the frame across a couple of boards, 2x4s, and actually standing on the frame at the down tube, or the seat tube rather, to try and manipulate it into shape. Okay, so we've got the frame laid across a couple of blocks. Put a rag there under the head tube so we don't mar the paint. The nut on the end of the axle is resting on that block. And then here I'm going to try and balance my weight on here. Now we're only looking to move it about 1.5 millimeters, so you know, very slight pressure to start, and we'll see how that Okay. Now we'll check the alignment again and see if we have to go more. Okay, so that was a very slight amount of pressure that I put on there. At least it felt like a very slight amount. I weigh about 245, so I don't have to put very much pressure on there at all to get the frame to bend a bit. And we've got it dead on, within half a millimeter or less. So I'm going to call that good. That frame is aligned.